Well, let me just welcome everybody. Thank you all for joining us. I'm just going to let Karl take over because he's our esteemed speaker today. So, good morning, Kathleen. You're just in time.
Actually, Nancy, I've been volunteered to introduce him. So I
I
dropped.
know you have.
Hey, Kathleen.
Well, do you know anything about him to introduce him?
Not a darn thing, Arlene.
You wrote the script.
Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Our guest is Karl Robb. I happen to know him since I've been married to him for 27 years. I think I know him. Maybe I don't. I'm not sure. Anyway, Karl has been diagnosed with young onset Parkinson's for over 40 years.
Wow.
He was diagnosed at the age of 23, but had symptoms starting at around 17. Not only is he a board member of Parkinson Social Network, but he is an author and blogger at his website, karlrobb.com. And he shares his stories and his journey on the blog. All the posts are free, so you're welcome to check it out anytime. And I find him to be a true inspiration, not just because I'm his wife, but also because of the work that he does and the passion he has to serve our community, both for those living with Parkinson's and those supporting those living with Parkinson's. So I'm very pleased to introduce him today. Karl, do you want to take it away?
Thank you, Angela. That's quite an introduction, and it's a lot to live up to. Thank you.
The bar is set high, Karl. I don't know what else we're gonna do, but I'm gonna mute everybody except Karl, and then I'll get your slides started, Karl. Okay.
What I don't know, I'll make up, I guess. So thank you.
I think so.
Angela, I'll take care of any late arrivals.
Oh, thanks, David. I appreciate that. So let me share the screen and get Karl's slides up here. Okay, Karl, can you see those slides?
I can see the slides. Thanks. It's my name. Okay, great. This is first. So I'm Karl Robb, and this is the first my first photograph to show. This was taken in North Carolina, Linville Falls, Western North Carolina. But we'll discuss that. We'll discuss my photo process more as we. But thank you for joining. Thank you for joining me today. This is really about the passion of how partly on hobbies and also what motivates you. But we'll get more into that as we go through the process. Go ahead, next slide. There you go. I've been taking pictures since I was in high school, and it's always brought me a lot of joy. I think I've gotten better as I've gotten older, and I'm grateful that the technology's gotten so much better. My iPhone takes some great shots. I also have a Canon, a Nikon, and a GoPro, and I'm always taking pictures of things around me, places I go. I try to take a picture every day, but I've sometimes I fail at that, but.
And Karl, do you want to take questions throughout your presentation, or do you want to save them to the end?
I'll take pictures. I'll take questions whenever they come through. Okay. I'm happy to do that.
All right. Well, we'll let you know.
Okay. Just nothing about politics or religion, please.
I'll filter those out.
Okay, please. Thank you. Especially politics. But I find solace in taking a good photograph. Um, uh, uh, um, um, yeah, photography's always been a passion of mine. So this this was a butterfly. Actually, this butterfly was taken in Virginia. Next one, Ange. Next slide. So the main benefits of just hobbies. I find these are a lot of benefits that I didn't realize it came out of just a hobby that you enjoy. You meet new people, and some hobbies, whether it's collecting things or new skills that sharing them with other people. It can improve mental health. I'm not going to read you all the benefits, but these are all things, mental, physical, chemical.
Well, and Carl, are you specifically referencing people with Parkinson's or everyone?
Everybody, Parkinson's, but I think the Parkinson's can, for me, I don't know whether it's Parkinson's or just in general, but I found my hobbies bring me great joy, and whether that helps my Parkinson's, I don't want to segment it from Parkinson's to my general health, but I find that there's a benefit from that.
And so, how do you set time aside? You said you try to take a picture every day. I mean, do you specifically plan to take that photo, or is it just when something catches your eye?
Often, if I look out the window and I see a sunset, I rush to the sunset. If I see it, I'm terrible about getting up in the morning early enough for sunrise, unless we're traveling. Then I lose a lot of sleep and catch sunrises on our trips. But yeah.
Well, I want to inject here. I know for many people with Parkinson's, first thing in the morning is not the easiest time because the medications haven't kicked in. So, can you talk a little bit about how you accommodate for off time early in the morning and taking these? We'll see one later that's a sunrise. So maybe
on several of our trips, I grab the camera, I grab the phone, I hope it's charged to rush to the window, and stumble to the pre-meds and stumble to the window, trying to make a steady shot to capture the sunrise. It's not always steady, but usually I get at least one good shot out of the many shots of the wall. But
well, we can talk a little bit more about that when we get to one of the sunrise shots you had.
Yeah, but this is just some of the main benefits of what some of you do, like a hobby that you enjoy, that it brings to can bring to your day. Next slide, please. And these are the activities that if you're not doing, you might consider adding to your repertoire of hobbies or daily activities to add to your joy.
So, Carl, can you talk a little bit about, some people are hesitant to go out, venture out to do new things while coping with the symptoms or side effects of the medication. Can you talk a little bit about how you overcome that?
It's kind of been doing, as long as it's not skydiving or or ski or skiing the back bowls of the ski resorts, or skydiving, or spelunking. Um,
Well, I guess the stigma is what I'm talking about.
Okay,
Some
well,
people get
well,
very self-conscious about their tremor
well,
or their
well,
dyskinesia,
right.
which I
Well,
knew you have dyskinesia. So
sure. Well, whether it's taking photographs or drawing, these are all things that at least give them a try. You may find you really like it. You may not be good at it, but that doesn't mean you can't do it and get better at it. I know that I still doodle. Some are good and some are terrible. It's a lot of fun. I still draw and doodle, and um, uh, I use a lot of apps. I have too many hobbies. Um, um, I still play games. Keep my mind active. Uh,
great.
but well, to travel, we took a long trip this past year, last year, and I think that was that gave me an opportunity to take a lot of great pictures, and was,
So you're saying that the benefits outweighed
oh,
the
definitely.
challenges.
Um, take a calculated risk, but be careful. Uh, don't don't uh, don't risk yourself. But what's the harm in taking up a musical instrument? What's the harm in trying to dance, or taking out genealogy, or volunteer if you get extra time, volunteer for a cause. These are all things that you can do if you have the time and the wherewithal, whether it's online or whether it's in person.
Excellent point.
And and there's more. Look at YouTube. If you want to learn how to make paper, I'm sure there's websites on how to make your own paper, or how to whistle. Uh, but
Are you ready for the next slide?
the next slide, we have online classes, and we've talked about that before. Yeah. So try a new sport, learn a new skill. Find an app that there's an app for everything. If there isn't, then find out how to make it. Be more flexible, less rigid. Watch some, just watching a channel you don't normally watch. Or what kind of movie you wouldn't expect to watch can expand your horizons. Watching TCM, I've heard people say, I don't like black and white films. I was like, why don't you? I just like color. Well try watch a black and white film. Yeah.
Or subtitles.
Or subtitles.
Word
Yeah.
films. Yeah. You ready for the next slide?
Next slide. So there's some things you have to do, and some things you can choose to do, and the ones you choose to do can be a lot of fun, like photography, painting, drawing, pottery, reading. But the things you have to do are not always fun, but they can be effective, and definitely important to your well-being, especially with Parkinson's. And people say, well, this is something you have to do. It's something you have to, this is one you have to do every day, and say, well, I have to do that too.
I think I've actually heard that.
Yes. As I'm afraid as Parkinson's progresses, the list gets longer, things you have to do every day to take care of yourself. Whether it's exercise or voice practice or stretching, and aging comes with Parkinson's as well as the disease itself. So it's a double. Twice as many things to work on since you're aging.
Yeah, I
Next.
don't think it's exclusive just to people who have a neurological condition. As we all age, we have to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need to do exercise in order to keep our joints moving. So yeah, as much as we don't like going to the gym, it's important for us to do that to stay active and mobile.
And when you play a lot of tennis as a youngster, if you're not if you didn't do the stretching, it catches up with you. And I feel my shoulders.
Yeah, as many physical therapists says, motion is lotion. So.
Next
You
slide.
ready for the next slide?
Next slide. So, with me, I've been taking pictures of landscapes, animals, nature, skyline. Just something a pretty flower. I took 10,000 shots in Alaska and 6,000 in Hawaii. This is Virginia Beach.
I think this would qualify as one of those early morning shots.
Yes. I was mesmerized. I took a lot of shots from this is from our balcony. I didn't have to move very far. I was taking it with my iPhone.
Carl, can you talk a little bit about if you use any special equipment or tripods or
I don't use it.
that?
I don't use it. I don't use a tripod with my iPhone. I can usually most of the time I'm pretty steady when it comes to taking pictures. There's stabilization on the camera, which is beneficial. You can use. There are ways to stabilize yourself when you're tremoring, but most of the time I can steady myself enough to capture the photograph.
Well, and you've had a few photographs that you didn't study, but those actually turn out being kind of blurry, but they're actually kind of
very interesting, and also I can put them through an artwork and make something out of the blurry photographs. So there's and there's something pretty about some of the blurry photos too. So you're right. Enjoy what you get. Great thing about digital photography is it doesn't cost anything to process. It's just you're paying for storage, but that's it's not
Carl,
like.
do you want to take a minute to get a drink of water, and we'll see if anybody in the audience has a comment or question. You're welcome to unmute yourself or raise your hand using the little
the great thing is it's not like the days of film, which were expensive.
Yes.
Carl,
Yes.
one of the things I was curious about, you take beautiful photographs.
Thank you.
Have you had a lot of classes kind of teaching you and guiding you, or is it just a matter of time and you've got a really good eye? Because some of them are just amazing.
Well, thank you.
And you look at it and you could see it in real life and not catch what you catch in the photograph.
That's very nice. Thank you, Arlene. No, I've not taken anything. Never taken a class. I've been taking I've taken I've had so many cameras. And I've taken so many different photographs since high school that I guess I've figured out what looks good. But sometimes you take a shot and you think that's going to be a terrible shot, and then you look at it later on, and you look at it again on the screen. It's like that was a good shot. So you never know exactly when you take it, whether it's you think it's a good shot, but I feel like the one behind me, I didn't know how good the shot was when I took it. Uh, how expansive the shot was, or the shot we're looking at now. Sometimes you just feel like it's kind of a feeling. It's like now is a good time for the shot, and I think let's take it and let's see what we get. Sometimes you can't even tell. Sometimes you think the light's too flat, and you take it, and it comes out really well. So take the shot and see what you get. You might be real surprised how good it comes out. But thank you.
Ready for the next slide, Carl?
Next slide. And this is Cape Cod.
So Carl, something you mentioned just a second ago about seeing it. We had talked about you sharing your vision issues with Parkinson's. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
I think I'm more. I think Parkinson's it's made me more aware of my surroundings and what's. I've been Parkinson's as long as I've had. It's been maybe more aware of the world around me. I think maybe it comes through my photography.
So you mean your observation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the beauty and the joy in the photo. But
do you want to talk a little bit about double vision?
Oh yeah, well I since I was 6 years old, I had double vision. I had lazy eye. I had two eye operations, and I they said the double vision would go away. It's never really gone away, but I compensate for it. So.
Do you think that gives you a unique perspective?
Yes,
well?
I'm supposed to wear glasses, but I don't wear the glasses. But I still take pictures, and sometimes I wonder why it's out of focus. But most of the time I can compensate for. I can figure out why. I think the iPhone makes up for my out of focus. So I'm grateful for that.
And you don't use any special software on the iPhone, do you?
I do not. I use whatever is available on the iPhone. Yeah.
Right. Next slide.
Next slide. And this is Savannah. Dusk and I love play of light with the sun and clouds and water. As you can see, I do a lot of water, but and mountains.
So let me ask you, I'll call it a photo session, when you're out with your phone and having, these sessions, what are you thinking? Are you just thinking about the composition? Are you just taking the shot? What's kind of going through your mind as you're
when you see something like this, I get really excited because it's so pretty. It's almost like I gotta grab this as soon as possible.
Yeah, I have been around when you say, pull the car over, Angela, right now.
I get tunnel vision. Yeah, I get so lost in the shot that I don't think about anything else but the shot. So maybe that's why I don't shake or I'm on. It energizes me, and I get excited. Yeah,
And just for
Carl, what kind of
everybody,
camera are you using?
I'm using it's an iPhone 12,
but you do also have a Nikon.
and I have an Nikon and I have a GoPro, 2 GoPros. So it depends on what I'm shooting. I love the GoPro. When I have it with me, I always have my phone with me. So if it's the phone's the default if I don't have access to the GoPro or the Nikon. And I do have a Fuji, which takes a little Fuji, which takes interesting pictures. It's a different dimension, but
And the
and
Nikon's the D5200, Peter, just so
right,
you know,
yeah.
all digital.
Carl, one of the interesting things that I see about that photo is the juxtaposition of all the colored lights on the left and all the dark trees on the right. That's really neat.
Thank you. It was
Yeah, and Marcia, that's the sun's setting in the west, and so you're right. The darkness is the sun has already gone down on the east side. So
Mhm.
yeah, it is quite lovely.
Mm.
Another interesting point is the fact that the fact that you have the walkway that does a 90-degree turn. If you follow the people around and then it turns and goes towards the ship, you get 2 different perspective levels in the photograph.
Thank you, David. Yeah. Of course, when I'm taking the photograph, I'm not analyzing. I'm just going like, wow, that's just so cool.
Yeah, there are sessions where it's like Carl will look back on the photos, and go, wow, 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 oh wow. They're all the photos. Like, look at this one, Ange. Look at that. I got it. They're great.
Sometimes I take multiple shots with the same shot, and and I show this to some friends. They go, I don't want to see any more of that image.
Yeah, we have to curate them a little better.
Nice shot, Ange.
Sure.
And this is Asheville.
Do you want to talk about where you were actually shooting from?
I'm shooting from our hotel hotel room deck. I didn't have to go very far. We had dinner. I think we had dinner and breakfast on the deck.
And this is looking west. This is another sunset shot.
Yeah. Just
I think that's one of the unique things, Carl, is that even though these may be off time shots where you're not moving as well, to be able to, like go out on a hike and take some terrific vista, you're really capturing beauty that's available to you ordinarily, I guess is the best way to say it.
Yeah, you don't have to be totally mobile at the time to appreciate the image. Yeah. The camera kind of does the walking for me.
That's great. That's a great quote. Larry, did you have a question for Carl?
I just on the previous photo, I just wanted to comment how great the composition.
Thank you. Thank you.
The image in this particular picture is so sharp from the very close up of the 2 little balconies going all the way back to the horizon practically. And finding something and doing something that stays in such sharp focus for such a depth is amazing.
Do you set your own camera settings? Like do you know what the F setting is on this?
I I play around a lot with the changing the close up and going to the as close as all times I go as close as I can with or some variation of I must never keep it at the 1, 2.5. I try to go to like 4, 5, 6, sometimes all the way to 12. I'm not sure what this one was, but it was not. It was somewhere, so it was close to maybe like a 5. So it was somewhere in the middle, I think.
Yeah, Larry,
Correct.
he plays with that dial of f-stops that's in the Apple camera software. So a lot of times I see him moving his finger through the dial trying to find the right setting to capture it.
I found it on this one. It's great depth of field.
Yeah, and the natural lights always I always get the really interesting shots with the natural light under portrait.
Are you ready for the next one, Carl?
This one, and this is we just a couple of falls ago we'd gone to Brook Lake, just down the street from around the house, about 10 minutes from the house.
Well, and the beautiful thing about this, Carl, is that this was during the pandemic, and so we were accomplishing a few check marks, getting out of the house, which was one in a safe location,
Yeah.
with
A break from work in the middle of the day.
yeah, that's can you talk a little bit about that too? Making the most of times when you're doing the best.
I was on, and it was a beautiful day, and didn't want to sit in the office anymore. So we took part of the day off and went up for lunch and took added a few shots to the repertoire. And this was one that came out, and it's untouched, so I probably can make it a little more vibrant even if I touched it. I try to touch my shots up, but like occasionally I do have some shots that I touch up with some software, but none of these shots have been touched up. So this is, you see what you're seeing today is you see what you get.
You ready for the next one?
Next shot. Yeah. And this is Savannah again, but this is the story with this one is this is during a lightning strike. So that Angela kept saying, "Come inside, come inside."
Yeah, I was kind of scared that you were going to get electrocuted, but that's all.
But
standing on a metal balcony with your camera in a lightning storm, not the that might be close to skydiving kind of job.
But it was worth the risk. I guess I like that shot. It was right exact time of the lightning strike. It was so cool.
This photograph reminded me of my great grandfather. He was a tugboat captain up in New York Harbor.
Wow, that's cool.
That's cool. And
Is it Savannah, you said?
It's Savannah, yeah. From our balcony.
Love that silhouette, the bridge, and the contrast with the clouds. Looks nice.
Thank you. It worked. I had no idea what I was going to get, but I kept trying to. Lightning was so intermittent. I said, I gotta get the lightning. And
yeah. Meanwhile, I'm saying, can you get inside, please, and be a little safer? Yeah. Well, and I think that goes back to being so focused on what you're doing that you kind of throw all the other things away.
What probably wasn't the smartest shot, but yeah, I was focused. But it was too good to pass up. Next shot. And this, all the elements came. This is actually a shopping center in, in South Carolina, from afar, but it came out really cool.
Well, we were actually out walking.
Yeah.
You weren't thinking about taking photographs at all. We were walking around
No.
this lake that's in this planned community, and
Yeah.
you were like, "This is just too good to pass up." And
I,
you actually stood by a tree, I think, and
yeah,
steadied yourself to take the photograph.
yes. I was lagging behind. You were a few
Yeah, I
paces.
was trying to get some exercise. But it was beautiful. It absolutely was beautiful. And it's one of those opportunities where, maybe you pause your exercise in order to get a taste of nature.
The sky opened up, and it was just, it was, the light was just so perfect. So, but I was mesmerized. Next shot. And this is Switzerland. This is again taken from a balcony around our hotel.
Is that water below?
That's water below. That's Lake Geneva below. Yeah.
Ooh. That is beautiful.
Thank you. And this is close. This is close up with. I was probably on an eight, somewhere between 8 and maybe it might have been 12.
Yeah, you're pretty far zoomed out, yeah, or zoomed in. Sorry, I always forget which one it is, but
it was pretty high up on the close up, but well, I was looking for a unique perspective of the mountain, because those clouds are so pretty, and the light was so cool.
My eyes immediately go to the mountains, but then I pull back by the tree, and they have to go out again. And I come back, go out again.
Yeah. Well, I also have some of the panoramics with mountains, more water in the mountains, and that's quite interesting as well. But this, yeah.
texture.
I kept taking. I took so many shots during. This is just before. I think this is just after a rainstorm. Yeah. Next shot in. This is from moving car. In Laredo, Virginia. It's amazing how good the camera is on the iPhone, that you can take a decent shot from a moving car.
Well, and we try not to stop right in the middle of the road. We may slow down quite a bit, but you may see us out there sometimes slowing down to get a shot. So if you see us out there and we're driving slow, you might know why we're driving slow. Anything else you want to say about this car?
No, this is early in the morning. We were on our way to. This was an early wind shot, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
We're looking east as we're driving.
On the way to our property. Yeah.
Did you purposely include that cell phone tower?
Yeah, I debated whether I should take that out or not, but I kind of like the contrast of the tower, but
It kind of brings your mind back to a reality. The time and day this photograph was taken. It was without that cell phone tower. It could have been timeless.
yeah. I mean, I could still take it out, but it can't. That's-
I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying. I
No,
would
no,
look
no,
at
Yeah, but it provides a good juxtaposition between
Yeah,
the beauty and modern technology.
yeah,
It could be a great shot either way.
yeah.
yeah.
And it's proof they'll put a cell phone tower anywhere out in the middle of a cow field.
Yeah.
You ready for the next one, Carl?
Next one. And this is a field of weeds, but it's a
I think this is one of those. Well, and pull the car over now. Oh, wait a minute, back up a little bit. Oh, go forward a little.
I'm inside the car. Didn't get it. Actually, I did walk. I did get out of the car and walk 10 steps to take the photograph and got in the car, but I didn't have to go very far to get the shot. And it is a broken tree trunk and a barbed wire fence, but something about
It's,
it.
it's so green you can almost smell it.
Yeah, it was.
And Peter, if you have hay fever, I think the mustard will make you sneeze.
Well, the other interesting thing is that up close you can see the mixture of different flora with different colors, and then as it moves towards the back, you can see that different mixture produces different visual effects in terms of the rows, the lines of the different colors, the way they show up.
Yeah, it almost moves. The more you look at it, it kind of moves your eye all around the photograph. I wish the branch in front of it kind of adds to it. Also takes away a little bit of the perspective. I probably should. That's not my tree, so I couldn't cut it, but it does add something to the visual effect of the planets around it. But
Well, I keep thinking about, stop and smell the roses, but honestly, this is one of those stop and just look at what's around you, because even a field of weeds can be so, looks so painted.
Yeah.
With that it's intentional, the different layers of color.
yeah. Years ago, we were in Maryland. We were driving by a sunflower, a farm of sunflowers, and it was so beautiful. Got pictures of it somewhere. It was before digital, so it was pre-digital, but it was digital, but it was on an old phone, so I can't find the shot anymore with sunflowers. But I wish I could get that shot back. But
Find it.
Right.
I think that's one thing, Carl, that we might want to talk about is that,
organizing photos is
yeah, well,
and-
and thinking about, the some of the challenges with Parkinson's and other neurological conditions. Sometimes, that's the challenge itself, is to organize your hobbies in such a way that you can do something like that, which would be beneficial, maybe even to have someone help you do something like that. Like, do you have a loved one or a friend or someone who could help you go through these shots and then catalog them, so that when you want to find the sunflower shot, you can find the sunflower shot?
Yeah.
Oh, you ever considered entering your photographs in a competition?
I've thought about it, but never done it.
You got a lot of competition out there, but you do a pretty good job.
Thank you. I did do a book of some of my photographs years ago, but I gave only to family members and friends. But I thought about maybe doing that book again, and maybe doing another book or two of sunsets and I've so many shots. It's crazy. With, there's, buildings and night skies and yeah.
So do you store this on do you store your photograph digitally, or do you do it on paper
Mostly on the cloud.
or in the cloud? Yeah,
Yeah,
take
we
up
have
no
some,
space.
Peter, that are stored on hard drives. You know, we've got non-connected hard drives, so
Yeah.
we do a lot of backups,
So-
or
so-
even on memory sticks.
Yeah.
In order to like before we went to Europe, we backed up Carl's phone to a couple different devices in case, you know, with the shots he was taking in Europe, that he might run out of space. You ready for the
shot.
next one, Carl?
Next one. Thanks, Ange.
Because we have about 8 or 10 minutes left. Yes.
Okay. This is another one from the movie Car, on a bridge crossing. It was like 7:30 in the morning, I think. And I'm
Pretty darn early.
I'm terrible in the morning, but the timing was just perfect for the shot. I didn't know what I got until we got home because we had a meeting. I think we were going, so I think didn't have a chance to look at my photographs until I got home, and it was like, wow, this is pretty good. Yeah.
Ready for the next one?
Next one, yeah. And this is in France.
I think it's another one of those you didn't know what you had until you got
No.
back.
That's a
Next one.
vineyard.
What's that?
That is vineyard.
It's a vineyard, yeah.
Wow, where was this at?
This is France. We were staying in Avignon, and it was a day trip. Where was it, Angela?
Minerves?
Minerves.
Yeah, it's a very agricultural area in south of France, Peter. Not too far. I guess it's kind of considered in the Provence area, but this wasn't obviously lavender. It's grapes, and then you can see there's a few orchards too. You do apples and
Apricots.
apricots and pears and stuff there as well. Awesome apricots. Just
Yeah.
saying.
That's quite a shot.
Thank you.
Where are you at? Are you up on a hill or something?
I'm on the offshoot from the highway.
Could be from the highway. Wow.
Yeah. I only had a chance for one or two quick shots, but it came out really well. Yeah. Next shot, Ange. And this is Switzerland. After a very hard thunderstorm. I just love the textures.
Interesting point in this picture. If you look at perspective, all of the boats are pointing in the same direction,
Yeah.
except the one in the foreground. It's actually not pointing in the direction that the rest of them are, which would kind of suggest two different currents.
Hmm.
They also all look alike, so you get the wrong boat if you weren't paying attention.
Some guy just stole my boat.
That's my boat.
I thought that the symmetry between the boats is interesting too. If they're any closer, wouldn't be very interesting. But it's interesting in the way they're scattered. Yeah, and this is the distance from the foreground to the background is makes it more interesting with the light coming through the layers of the clouds, and the sun coming through the top back clouds.
Officer, they got away in a little rowboat. Did you get the tag number? No.
Next shot. This is South Carolina on the intercoastal
Wow.
water.
Sunrise. Another one of those. I had to get myself up early, grab a camera, and run out to the outside.
I take Carl, you gotta submit this for competition. Yeah, you did a good job.
Oh, thank you.
I bet you win some. Look at the contrast there. You get the overall, you get the sky above and a reflection of the water, and the sunset too.
And Peter, I'll tell you,
Wow.
This is an interesting time on the intercoastal because it does get tidal movement of water. So there is a point in time where the tides freezes, so it totally doesn't have any movement whatsoever. And
Well, there's not a ripple in the water.
not a ripple.
No.
You ready for the next one, Carl?
So peaceful. It's so peaceful and quiet too. Nice shot, Inch. And this is Western North Carolina. A view I've seen several times, and it's always different. But this is
One of those places where you wait 5 minutes for a change.
That's awesome.
A sunset. It's right before the sun sets.
Yeah.
So we're looking west, southwest.
I think that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions,
Yeah, everybody's welcome to unmute themselves and.
please.
I got an idea. How about you put a slideshow together for next time, so we could ooh and ah some more of it. You did some great picks. Great picks.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll stop.
Appreciate that.
Oh,
I have a question quickly.
Yes.
Have you thought of putting something together on traveling with Parkinson's, like the challenges and that kind of thing?
We've talked about it, but that should be in the works. It's a great idea. I think that's and put that on the list, Angela, for
I
discussion.
did. I did. I totally wrote down Marcia's request for traveling in PD. Yes, we've talked about it in little pieces, Marcia, but I think we will work on that and get it back to you.
Okay.
Because
that
that's
would
a
be great.
long, taking the little pieces of each one, but we did it. We went to Europe for almost 3 weeks last summer. So
Wow.
there were challenges, but there were a lot of beautiful moments. So
Oh, yeah, I would love to hear about that. We're planning a trip to Australia in the spring.
Oh, wow.
We haven't traveled since before the pandemic, so kind of curious to know what your experiences are.
Carl, you and Tom ought to get together and travel between your photography and his knowledge of history. Wow.
He's welcome to tag along.
Carl, I think David had.
Talking about you, Tom.
What, Angela?
Go ahead, David. David
Oh.
had his hand up.
Oh.
Carl, I just want to acknowledge the beauty of your photography. It's just fabulous. And the meaning for me, as I was listening to you and the words that you used, it connects with my passion, which is psychology. Those words like perspective, focus, depth, connect with my interest in psychology too. So there's a deeper message there, even beyond the absolute beauty of the art.
Oh, thank you, David. That's very deep. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Carl, this is Larry.
Oh,
Do you
there.
have a love-hate relationship between digital and film?
I know what you're saying. Yeah. At one point, I loved film, but it got so expensive, and having to send it back. I never got into doing my own film, so I find digital got easier over time. We got more used to it and easier. And actually, I think digital is. I love digital now. I've learned to love it.
You do so many shots with digital that you can shoot away and do some composing later.
Yeah, Larry. Carl has some black and whites that he took in his high school days. I mean, they're absolutely beautiful, but yeah, I can imagine the wait time, to see those come out. But they were great.
Yeah. Often I send away for the film, and maybe 5 good ones out of 20.
Hey, Carl, I hate to throw in a pill reminder, but I think you
I'm different pill. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Sorry to throw that in the recording, but just
You're right.
did anybody else have any comments or questions? Because we just hit the 11. We're here till 11:30, but I want to make sure if anybody had a comment or question, we got you in sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I'd like Carl to do an annual photography program so we can next year see more of his I mean, they're spectacular.
Thank you.
Since you have endless numbers, I'd love if people are interested that we can do this again at some point.
Good morning. This is Alita. I apologize. I overslept this morning. And I just wanted to say the same thing about Carl's work. My husband, Parkinson's, and we were in Richmond this week. And on the wall, Carl's work is exhibited on the walls at the hospital. So there was a picture of a butterfly. Has anybody mentioned this already?
No, they.
Okay.
You're the first.
Okay, so we were at the hospital, going to the appointment in the room, and there was this beautiful butterfly photography of a butterfly on the wall, and it caught my eye, and I went up and looked at it, and I said, "Who's the artist?" Karl Robb. I was like, "Wow, I know Karl Robb." And so I took a photograph of his art and the little label there. And then I contacted Carl, let me know that other work there. And I want to know, my question, Carl and Angela, would be, how do you get your work exhibited at the hospital?
Well, at the time, I had a dear friend who worked at the office there.
Yeah, Lita, we knew Andrea Persigan. She was the outreach coordinator for the Parkinson Center at the original clinic that the Movers and Shakers started down in Richmond through VCU. And they had just moved into a new space, and Carl said, well, it'd be great if you had some art on the wall. I'd donate you something. So he donated.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Thank you. I appreciate you finding those.
Yeah, we weren't sure where they ended up, Alita, because since they moved out of that space and moved into other spaces, we weren't sure if they still had the art or not. So thank you for confirming.
Oh, yes, the butterfly is on the 4th floor, I can tell you that. It's on the 4th floor in neurology. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
There's also one of a mountain stream, and what's the other one?
I can't remember the third one, Carl. It's been a while. It's been a minute. Think Alita showed us that it's been 10 years since you donated those pieces. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Well,
Oh, the other thing Alita actually asked us yesterday that I couldn't answer particularly about those pieces, but where you get those printed was one of her questions. And I usually do the ordering for Carl, but we use Canvas on Demand is the company we use now.
there's also big ass canvases, and also
Big Photo.
Big Photo's good.
Mhm.
AY photo.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, BAY
No,
Photo.
B-
Yeah, they're out of California.
Okay.
They do printing on all sorts of mediums too. They do canvas, they do paper, they do all kinds of photo papers. They also do metal and glass, which is kind of a new mediums as well.
Yes, I've seen those some things on glass before. So it's Bay Photo and it's Canvas on Demand.
Right.
Thank you.
You're
Sure.
welcome. Anybody else? And then we'll
Yeah.
turn it over to open discussion.
Hope it's yeah, sure.
Well, thank you, Carl. I appreciate you sharing your photos as well. Although I get to see them quite frequently since I'm with you most of the time. But I have to say, even when I'm, with you and you're doing these shots, I don't see nearly what you see in your field and your perception. Like David said so well, the words attached to the photos are very meaningful, and it does provide you even more depth of perspective, and yeah, it's incredible what you see that even standing next to you, I don't see it. So thank you so much for sharing it.
You take some awfully good photos yourself, Angela. So.
Yeah, but everybody has a different perspective. And I definitely have a different perspective if I'm behind the wheel and driving, so I don't get to see it at all.
I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, otherwise we'd be in the river, not taking photos of the river.
I don't need a close up of that.
And I'll just read you a couple comments from the chat. Kathleen said, "Great job, Carl. Thanks." And then Marcia said she had to leave, but she said it was wonderful to see your creativity in photography. So thank you, Marcia, and thank you,
Kathleen.